Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really embarking on a mission here. We want to explore something pretty foundational, I think, for anyone interested in learning effectively.
Right.
Which is how technology can, well, not just support, but actually enhance learning. And we're looking at this through the lens of different educational theories.
Yeah, the big ones.
Exactly. So this isn't just about, digitizing the old stuff. It's about how we can use tech to get smarter, faster, more effectively, thinking about behaviorism, cognitivism, constructivism, even newer ideas like Connectivism.
Mm-hmm.
So the core question really is, how can we leverage tech to really elevate that learning experience?
That's it. And, this deep dive, it pulls from some really insightful sources, discussions around instructional design for the digital age, contemporary ideas about learning itself.
Okay.
And the point really is to get past it, just like trying things randomly, throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Understanding these theories, these frameworks, it gives us a richer toolkit, a pedagogical repertoire, you could say. It lets us make really intentional choices, design choices that actually work.
And that's what we want for you listening in. By the end of this, hopefully, you'll have real clarity on these theories. They can sound a bit dense sometimes, can't they?
They can, yeah.
And you'll walk away with concrete, practical examples, how technology actually brings them to life. It's a pretty fascinating area.
Definitely.
So let's start with behaviorism. Okay, let's unpack this one first. At its core, it's the idea that behavior can be changed through, conditioning, right? External rewards, penalties.
Skinner's model, yeah.
Yeah.
Actions shaped by consequences.
Right. And often we think of this as like drill and kill exercises, just rote memorization, repeat, repeat, repeat.
The classic approach.
But how can technology move beyond just that repetition? How can it actually maybe transform behaviorism?
That's a really good question because traditionally it needed constant, often human reinforcement. Tech offers something different.
Yeah.
It offers precise, scalable, adaptive reinforcement.
Okay, adaptive.
How so? Well, think about how it facilitates those immediate rewards. Picture, say, a climb the mountain quiz game. You answer correctly, your little character on screen moves up the mountain.
Ah, okay, I see.
That visual progress, it's immediate feedback, driven by the tech. And that can be really motivating, right? To stick with maybe a 30-question quiz that might otherwise feel tedious.
So it's the immediacy and the consistency that tech provides.
Exactly. Now look, a short e-learning module probably won't change behavior long-term on its own.
Right, fair point.
But where tech really shines for behaviorism is practice and consequence. Think branching exercises, immersive simulations. They let you, the user, actually experience the results of your mistakes.
In a safe space, presumably.
Totally safe. You make a choice, boom, the tech shows you the impact instantly. Plus, you've got learning management systems, LMSs. They can trigger follow-up coaching, maybe based on completion or performance.
So automating the carrot or stick.
Precisely. It provides those external drivers for sustained effort that are just hard to manage manually at scale. The system becomes that consistent force.
That idea of immediate consequences, yeah, that's powerful for shaping behavior. But it makes me think, what about what's happening inside the learner's head? The thinking behind it all.
Right.
Which brings us neatly to cognitivism. This is all about the internal stuff, what's going on in your brain. It's kind of the opposite of that old learner as sponge idea, isn't it?
Absolutely. Less passive absorption, more active processing. Cognitive science research is key here. It tells us factual knowledge isn't enough on its own. It needs to be organized within a framework.
Organized how?
Organized so you can retrieve it and apply it easily. It's not just knowing facts, it's knowing where they fit, how to use them. So the challenge for design becomes, how do we use tech to build that deeper, organized understanding?
Right, and that's where tech can promote, as you sometimes hear, less clicking, more thinking.
Exactly.
Creating opportunities for reflection as cognitive interactivity. Using tech not just to present stuff, but to get learners to really manipulate ideas in their minds.
And there's some really concrete ways tech does this for cognitivism. First, chunking content. Tech makes it easy to break down programs into short, bite-sized pieces.
Like micro-learning.
Sort of, yeah. John Medina suggests our brains focus best in about 10-minute chunks. Tech lets us deliver learning in these focused bursts. It helps with attention, processing.
Okay, that makes sense. What else?
Second, interactive presentation. Using questions during the content, not just in a test at the end. Prompting discovery, getting you to engage actively as you learn.
So interacting with the material itself.
Right. Third, reflective moments. Tech can do this easily. Think text input screens for journaling, maybe slider bars, Likert scales, surveys.
Asking things like, how confident do you feel about this?
Exactly. How confident are you talking to teenagers one-on-one? It forces you to pause, think, self-assess, grapple with the material internally.
I like that. Grappling.
And finally, a big one, spaced repetition. Tech is brilliant for this. Serving up content over time, retrieval practice, it helps forge stronger memories. It fights that Ebbinghaus forgetting curve.
Ah, the dreaded forgetting curve.
Yeah,
Where you lose information if you don't revisit it.
precisely. Tech can automate that revisiting, making it super effective and easy to scale.
Okay, so tech really helps optimize those internal mental gears. But a lot of learning isn't just internal processing, is it? It's about actively building meaning from experience.
That takes us to Constructivism.
Yeah, let's dig into Constructivism, this idea that we actively construct meaning. It's a move away from, teacher talk, students listen.
It's a huge shift. And what's fascinating here is the role of prior knowledge. Our existing experiences, they act like powerful filters.
How do you mean?
Well, think about kids who believe the Earth is flat, even after you tell them it's round. Or struggling with fractions because intuitively 8 seems bigger than 4, so 18 must be bigger than 14.
Ah, right. Those pre-existing ideas get in the way.
Exactly. We all enter learning situations with these mental models. Constructivism says effective learning has to acknowledge and build on those or challenge them directly.
Okay, so how does technology help us actively construct meaning then?
Well, one way is through user-driven models. Think e-magazines, open menus, maybe resource portals you can search and explore freely.
Giving the learner control.
Total control, letting you make, adult decisions about where to spend your time. Navigating at your own pace. It's not just about flexibility, it's empowering choice, which is core to building your own understanding.
Makes sense.
Then there are guided stories and scenarios. These are so effective. You mentioned Joe and his horrible, no good, very bad day for InfoSec, or Screaming Ruth for workplace behavior.
Yeah, those sound memorable.
They are. Because you learn by observing, by experiencing consequences, even if simulated. Branching scenarios are great for this. Even fake branching, where the path is set, but making choices forces engagement.
Was fake branching.
It might seem like you have many paths, but they often converge. Or the core learning points are hit regardless. But the act of choosing makes you think. Or investigate and decide. Models, they drop you in a situation.
Like a detective.
Kind of. You have to make sense of it, make choices, see what happens. It reflects that life is messy, right? Lots of gray areas. Tech lets you practice navigating that messiness without real risk.
That simulation of messiness, yeah, that sounds really valuable.
And finally, collaborative construction. Okay, this isn't purely tech, but tech platforms are massive enablers. Well, constructivist teachers see huge value in groups learning together. Tech platforms let you share ideas, test them out publicly with peers, get feedback. Think about Andrew Wiles proving Fermat's last theorem.
The mathematician.
Yeah, he presented his proof to peers, got feedback, refined it. Technology lets us do that kind of collaborative refinement at scale, across distances. Share, critique, build together.
That idea of building together, sharing across networks, that feels like a perfect bridge to our last theory, Connectivism.
It really does.
This one feels particularly modern, very tied to the digital age we live in. How does tech help us learn through our connections, through networks?
Connectivism is basically learning through your network, accessing information when you need it from the connections you have. What's really compelling is how much this mirrors real work, doesn't it?
Totally. You don't always know the answer, but you know who to ask or where to look online.
Exactly. You go outside your own head or even your immediate team. You tap into the network. Tech just, it amplifies that possibility massively.
So it's about distributed knowledge, collective intelligence. How does tech actually make that happen?
It's absolutely central. First, think social and collaborative tools. Yammer, Jive, Slack, Teams, even private Facebook groups or Twitter threads used internally.
The digital water cooler.
That's a great way to put it. They enable immediate questions, answers, problem solving across the organization. The key insight here is that the answer isn't just found, it's often co-created, iterated on, right there in the moment by the network. It breaks down old hierarchies.
And it's faster.
Much faster. And it's not just text, right? Another big area is user-generated content.
Ah, like people making their own videos.
Exactly. Tools like Snagit or Camtasia make it easy to capture think-alouds, screen recordings, quick expert interviews. This gets that tacit knowledge, the stuff that's hard to write down into shareable formats, video libraries, podcast feeds.
Democratizing expertise.
That's a perfect way to phrase it, making know-how accessible beyond just the person who originally had it. Then you have the shift towards learning portals. These go beyond the traditional LMS. They're built on platforms, maybe Tatar or Moodle, and act as central hubs.
Hubs for what?
For everything. Curated content, discussion forums, integrated collaboration tools, maybe pulling in relevant news feeds. You find info, connect with people, solve problems, all in one dynamic space. It's learning as an ongoing resource, not just a course you take.
And presumably you need to access this anywhere.
Absolutely crucial. Which leads to mobile and responsive design. Responsive web design, tools like Adapt, HTML5. They ensure content works across devices, smartphone, tablet, laptop, whatever.
So you can get that just-in-time support.
Precisely. Quick refreshers, performance support right when you need it, wherever you are. It matches how people actually use technology now, quick, on-demand access. And lastly, Connectivism really supports the idea of learning campaigns, not just one-off training events.
Campaigns, like marketing.
A bit like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Sustained messaging over time, using different formats. Short videos, maybe posters with QR codes, jingles, tip sheets, e-learning modules, all reinforcing the same core message or behavior change.
Like that entertainment company's privacy campaign you mentioned.
Exactly. Multi-year, multi-format. It embeds the learning over time. Tech makes managing that kind of sustained, blended campaign feasible at scale. So, understanding all these theories, behaviorism, cognitivism, constructivism, connectivism, it gives you, as an instructional designer or just a learner, a much richer palette, a deeper pedagogical repertoire.
Right.
It helps you connect the dots, choose the right strategies, the right technologies with real purpose, not just because they look cool.
That really is the core takeaway, isn't it? Tech isn't just about the shiny objects, the clicky, bling, bling.
Exactly. Not just bells and whistles.
It's about intentional choices. Choices that really enhance learning because they engage your brain in the right way, or foster connection, or empower you to build knowledge yourself, making the interaction truly count.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. We live in a world where, the half-life of any skill is shrinking fast. Some say less than 5 years now.
Wow, that's quick.
It is. So the question becomes, how will you actively leverage technology, not just to consume information passively, but to continuously construct, connect, and apply new knowledge in your own learning journey? How can these ideas shape what you do next, whether you're designing learning or taking part in it?